Hey, hello everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys an epic game. It's going to be CLG versus Navi, and this is for Star Series. This is the second time Navi's played today. They just played against Mouse, apparently. I did not catch this game myself, but they lost, surprisingly, and especially to Mouse. Mouse is not a bad team, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they are favored to beat Navi in a game. So everybody very surprised about that, and the important part, you know what happened last time, Season 1 Star Series? Navi won, or lost 0 games in the group stage. In this first initial point, they lost 0 games. That's crazy. They're still top of the game, definitely the case, but they're up against CLG, who is also definitely one of the best teams. So, especially with all the weird roster problems going on right now, I think CLG definitely has a good shot at taking out Navi here. Pycat's gonna be drafting for them. Their new roster, which just got restructured a little bit, is Pycat, Aki, Miracle, Lacoste, and Misery. So they used to have Loda as well as Smogalig. Both of them left, or I assume it was left. Lacoste got added in, as has Misery. So it's currently 4 Swedes plus Lacoste. I believe the other 4 are also... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Misery is Danish. So 1 Dane, 1 Croatian, 3 Swedes, I believe, is CLG currently. So they are currently... I'm giving them Swedish flag. Navi, of course, is actually Estonian, 2 Russians, and 2 Ukrainians. So they're actually pretty mixed up, but they have a Ukrainian organization. So they get the UK, or the Ukrainian flag for now. So first round bans, we see a Lone Druid, we see a Leshrac, as well as a Darkseer. Navi has drafted a Lycanthrope as well, or banned a Lycanthrope as well as a Panda, and a Nature's Prophet finally. So first round ban, or first round pick, Invoker possibly. No, it's going to be a Broodmother. So CLG drafts the Broodmother. Definitely a hero they like playing a lot. I've seen CLG draft this hero time and time again. Lacoste plays a very good Broodmother, so I expect to see him on the hero. And with Navi up with 2 picks here, they could go for a... Oh no, Leshrac's gone, sorry. I'm thinking they're going to do a Sand King for sure to counter the Broodmother. Sand King and a Invoker, I'm guessing. Sand King Invoker would give them a decent start off to their lanes. It would give CLG probably like a Windrun or something else. I guess they could go with Tide as well. I guess there's a lot of good heroes still in the pool. The metagame right now is the first round picks, at least, are kind of all over the place. You see a little bit of all of these heroes. Some games you see Leshrac, some games you see the Darkseer, you sometimes see Panda. Out of those first 6 heroes that were banned, guys, the only one that you pretty much never see is a Lycanthrope. Almost every single team bans out Lycan. They just don't even mess with him. Just completely gone. So, I expect to see... they're taking their time. They're down to a minute 3, so it's very important what they do draft here, because what they draft right now totally changes up what CLG is going to get. They're basically saying, if we pick Windrunner Tide or something, what does CLG get? They'll probably grab a Sand King Invoker, and we don't want to deal with that. If we grab Invoker, wow, they're going to Crystal Maiden Death Prophet? I never would have guessed that in a million years. Never would have guessed that. I am really surprised. But I am happy to see this. Navi has actually been playing Death Prophet occasionally. I know they played him 3 or 4 days ago, but Death Prophet in the pool is going to throw up that Carrion Swarm, not to mention that ulti to take out towers when she hits level 6. And CLG actually goes for a Windrunner as well as an Earthshaker. So Tidehunter is still in the pool. We could see a Tidehunter draft. We could still see an Invoker draft. But CLG's counter push right now is decent, and they're actually just going to draft an Anti-Mage in the first round. This is weird drafting, guys. I am very surprised. And yet another Anti-Mage. I bet you guys are excited for this one. No, I know you're not, but that's okay. It's Navi playing the Anti-Mage. I'm sure they'll do a little different. We're going to see like a Treads Vlad for us or something. Pubs beware. Once you see Navi doing that stuff, it's going to see it everywhere else. Second round bans coming in. I think CLG is likely to ban out a Sand King to guarantee that they don't have a nice laning advantage against Brood. Death Prophet's actually pretty good against Broodmother because she does have a spammable nuke that does good damage, so can clear out spiders pretty easily. That's great for counter push, all that good stuff. But there is plenty of time left. A minute 30 up for CLG. They have not wasted any of their bonus time, unlike Navi currently. We see a Sand King as well as a Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight getting banned out, so I'm a little surprised about the Dragon Knight. So we did see the Sand King though. So Sand King to counter the Broodmother is out. Kind of surprised that we saw that Dragon Knight ban. CLG used to play this hero a lot when they were first made a team. When they used to be, what was their team name before CLG? I can't remember. I can't remember what their team name was right before they got sponsored. But they drafted a lot of Dragonite right there, as did EG, I guess. It was like when EG was first formed, there was a lot of Dragonite going around for a lot of different teams, but they kind of had not the best win ratio, and people were having a little bit of trouble with him, despite his recent Dragon Tail buff when he's in range mode. So, good to see a Chen finally. That's a hero that I just completely forgot about. No Chen in the pool. And Navi didn't even draft it. They went for the Crystal. Man, it's a weird game. No Chen, no Invoker. Totally right, guys. Neither Chen nor Invoker got banned up until now. But Invoker's still in the pool. We'll see if Navi decides to ban him or not. They might let CLG take him. If CLG... I feel like CLG would take him in a second, though. And it's going to be a Slardar ban. What is happening? My world is upside down right now. Slardar in the pool, or out of the pool at least, would provide at least some nice counter against Anti-Mage and Death Prophet as well, actually. Amp damage lowers your armor down by a lot, so that means physical damage allows you to kill heroes. So Anti-Mage is countered, at least moderately, by Slardar. Death Prophet, similar situation. Death Prophet a little bit better off than Anti-Mage, I would argue, but either way, Slardar would be a decent hero against him. But instead, CLG grabs a Lich. So Lich will be using Sacrifice. That's the #1 reason to deny the EXP and farm of Anti-Mage or Death Prophet early on. And also they're going to have Frost Armor. So Frost Armor on your sports is so valuable up against the Anti-Mage because it prevents him from blinking in, and every time he attacks, it reduces his movement speed as well as his attack speed. And that slow alone gives you a lot of survivability. And even late game, the Frost Armor can give you up to 7 armor, I believe, which means a lot of survivability. And Navi's going to draft a Tidehunter next, surprisingly make it all the way to second round. And that's going to be their team fight. Tidehunter is great against Earthshaker, probably one of the best Earthshaker counters in the game, just because once you drop that Ravage down, it totally breaks his chain of initiation, or his chain stunning. And if you can stop Earthshakers from chain stunning, they can get nuked down, disabled. All it takes is a couple stuns and a little bit of damage, and Earthshaker can die pretty easily. So Tidehunter is going to be up for Navi. They might try lane this, it's a possibility. Or they might do something like a Crystal Maiden Anti-Mage mid, and they could do a Death Prophet top, and they could do like a Tide something bottom if they really wanted to. But they might do a tri lane, and they might put Tide in Death Prophet's lane pulling. Something like that is totally possible. There's still an Enigma in the pool as well, guys, so we could see an Enigma jungle by either one of these teams. But currently CLG probably needs a really strong mid lane, I'm thinking, or at least another farming hero, possibly a semi-carry. Definitely a semi-carry of some sort. Navi is going to have a Death Prophet and an Anti-Mage late game, which is both. Anti-Mage obviously a hard carry, Death Prophet more of a semi-carry, but still pretty strong for carry potential. I would say somewhere between a semi and a hard. Depends on how well a farm goes, of course, but I think CLG definitely needs at least a semi-carry of some kind, but I think they're a little unsure what they want to go for. Currently, Navi's teamfight is pretty strong. They have that Ravage, of course. They have the Ghosts. We might see something like a Faceless Void by CLG, but I'd be really surprised. I don't really know what they're going to go for here. I feel like they're kind of backed up against the wall. They either need to do really, really well in their lanes, that way they get an advantage over the Anti-Mage and therefore can push and stuff, or they need to try to out-carry them or at least stay at their level of teamfight using their hard carry. I don't know what they're going to grab. They could grab something like a Priest of the Moon, but that would be a little scary, and they do grab a Faceless Void, so I called that one, at least. I look smart, yes! So, Faceless Void is going to be strong because Chronosphere is really good. We just saw Infuse do that a couple days ago. I don't remember what team they played against, but I think it was DTS, I believe. They used Chronosphere. I mean, everybody knows Chronosphere is one of the best ultis in the game, undeniably. If you use it correctly, you're talking about an AoE stun that allows you to do a lot of damage. It's obviously not necessarily a typical AoE stun. You can't just fire and throw it, whatever, but Chronosphere is very, very good at disabling heroes. I don't know if the spirits end up going through the Chronosphere right now, but Navi's last pick is going to be Beastmaster. That's most likely going to be their solo bottom, and look at the ping. Immediately there's a ping on the map. Ancients. They're going for the Ancients, and this means we might see a early to mid-game Observer Ward on those. I don't think we will, probably, but that'd be kind of cool. But they know what's going to happen. They're saying, okay, he's obviously going to put a Beastmaster bottom. He's going to grab a Soul Ring. He's going to stack up those Ancients, and that's going to give him a lot of farm in the early to mid game. We'll see if that's what they end up going for. But I love these. I love the drafts from both teams. I think they're very, very smart here. CLG basically needs to farm up the Faceless Void. He will counter Anti-Mage in the late game. The hard part is getting there. If you can get the Void to late game with equivalent farm as the Anti-Mage, he can usually pick him off with some. You can do a Mask of Madness. You can do like a crit stick. Just try to burst down that Anti-Mage's HP during the Chronosphere duration, and they're going to have Chain Frost, and they're going to have Echo Slam. So They still have to worry about that Tide Ravage. They're going to have a lot of... and Navi actually has pretty good ganking in the early game as well. But we'll see how this goes. Laning is also going to be very important. So for CLG, the primarily Swedes, we have Miracle on the Earthshaker. Pycat playing the Faceless Void. We have Misery on Windrunner. Eki playing Lich and Lacoste on the Broodmother. For the Dire Team Navi, we have Puppy on the Tide Hunter. Arzart is playing the Crystal Maiden. Dendi on the Death Prophet like usual. Good luck, have fun's going all over the place. Tons of love and hugs. Hovost is going to be playing Anti-Mage. And finally we have Light of Heaven playing the Beastmaster. So Light of Heaven is usually their long lane or hard lane solo, so he will most likely go down to the bot lane. They're just trying to make sure that CLG doesn't place any Observer Wards down. Currently Miracle is the only one containing those. There's no sentries on CLG. Does Navi have sentries? I don't believe they do. Oh, they do actually. Puppy does have sentries, so this means he's pretty much guaranteed going to want to be top pulling. When you grab sentry wards at level 1, you say, I want to 100% for sure be able to pull. If you do buy the sentries, you should be guaranteed that you do it, unless you completely mess up your placings or they put their Observer Ward in a good spot. And look, they did it. So Observer Ward goes down to stop the Ancients. So they're going to make sure that Light of Heaven is unable to stack these up. If you stack them up and grab the Soul Ring, you can just throw axes. It takes a lot of axes, but eventually when you kill those Ancients, you get crap loads of gold and farm. Way more than a solo long lane Beastmaster would ever grab normally. So this is actually going to put him in kind of a bad spot. We will see a ping. I don't know who pinged that one. Actually, we might see Puppy go all the way over there. I think that they're basically assuming, they said, okay, we didn't see CLG at all top, so they probably went bottom. And that means they might have pulled, or at least warded the Ancients. We'll see if he goes for it. He's on the way over there. There have been a lot of pings, so I think he's going to go try to look at it. He's pinging again. He's pinging over there on the Ancient spots. I think he's maybe a little bit worried to go up there, but there are 2 heroes mid. So at this point, he says, okay, I see the heroes. There's most likely not going to be up here. Man, I really don't know what he's waiting for. Waited 30 seconds here. Is he going to sentry? And there he goes. He puts it down. Interesting place to put the sentry ward. Oh, I love that spot. Oh my god. This sentry, that is so smart. So smart. Such a smart play from Puppy. He's not just saying, let's take the Ancients and deny them. He's saying, let's take the Ancient ward and maybe grab a ward here as well. Really, really cool. That's exactly why he placed it in the river instead of just in the safety of the Ancient camp. Really cool stuff. But anyways, first initial block went pretty well for CLG. Obviously, they are denying creeps with Sacrifice, so part of the reason as well. As Dendi will trade some hits with Aki here. Top lane is going to be Arzart with the Anti-Mage, dual laning up against a Windrunner Earthshaker. A very safe dual lane that a lot of teams are doing a little bit more often now, because Windrunner is much safer if you can throw an AoE Fissure into the mix. We're going to have that Sentry Ward coming all the way to the bot lane to help out Light Heaven. Very, very cool. So Sentry Ward is used to stop the Ancient counter, and immediately the Sentry Ward comes down to Light of Heaven, which he can use up against the Broodmother. So with that Stealth Shield up, he's going to take some decent, he'll at least be able to block a decent amount of that damage. So there's a Crypt Swarm spam for Dendi, continuing to try to get last hits, but it is getting denied. Courier in a little bit of a weird spot, but Pycat actually picks up a Quelling Blade, which is very good. And Wagamama talked about this the other day when I casted with him, but a Faceless Void with a Quelling Blade has so much damage, because look at his base damage, guys. 70 on average. He can actually last hit under towers. He can almost hit as hard as the tower can. It's pretty amazing how much damage he can do. Actually he's going to do a little bit of advance forward on Dendi. Gets a bash off, only 10. Oh my god, was that a double bash? He could have gotten that kill. Dendi literally could have died right there if Pycat just believed in himself. He got a double bash, double 10% bash. There's a 1% chance of that happening. There it is. Thanks for fair play. He's like, oh my god, they double bashed me. At 10% chance. He seriously could have died. If Pycat would have gone in for one extra hit, Dendi would have been first blood on the mid lane to absolute luck. And there's going to be a gush on Misery as Art is coming forward looking for the AoE slow. He's just going to attack a couple times. He's waiting to frostbite, but he actually just saves his mana and he almost gets blocked in. Eats one tango and comes on through, but taking some damage is Aki with the haste. Does do the Frost Nova. There's the AoE, puts all the nukes down. His Miracle might be in a weird spot, but that is going to be 2 kills now, and Navi picks up. Anti-Mage just died? Are you kidding? I can't believe Anti-Mage just died there. I don't even know how that happened. I am totally flabbergasted right now. Wow, so CLG getting 3 kills. I can't believe Anti-Mage died. I thought he was 100% fine, so he wasn't even the one that got initiated on. Crystal Maiden goes down, Anti-Mage goes down, and CLG goes up for a 3-1 advantage. What is happening here? Lacoste is on the bot lane. Sentry Ward is down, so he does have vision at least, and the axes come through. 200 gold. Do we have a Soul Ring finish? It's actually going to be a bottle, so bottle's coming for Light of Heaven. He doesn't care about the Soul Ring, apparently, which is, I find that weird. He's going to use the board to stack, though. Boar will be stacking every 52 seconds. And Vos now level 4, so level 4 with 2 mana break, 1 blink, 1 spell shield. As Miracle's going to come up level 3, he's got Sentry Words as well. He's going to actually throw a Fissure on Havos, which he's totally okay with, because actually we see the Gush on Miracle. This could be his mistake here, as he's getting a lot of mana drain and easily picked off Crystal Maiden getting the last hit there. But a nice EXP going to Anti-Mage finally, so that makes up a little bit for his death early, but either way, I can't believe he died still. That is crazy. Bottles up on Death Prophet level 4. Picking up a second Witchcraft level as Pycat's going to go try to Rune Control. It's actually going to be bottom, so Aki picks that one up. Invisibility for him. Nothing for Dendi, so... And Dendi actually, does he even have Ward Vision up? Yeah, he does actually. There is this Observer Ward here, so... He did actually have Rune Vision at least, so he realized that Lich most likely picked that one up. He doesn't actually know what it was, though. Actually, I think the Hawk spotted it out, so... They probably know that he does have an Invisibility. Beastmaster now level 5. The stack has continued. That's a double stack. He'll probably send his pig back now to go stack that up again. As we'll see Dendi get a couple last hits mid. Definitely needs that. 16-1 currently up against a 24-6 Pycat. As we have Lich on the high ground. Thinking about initiating. He might jump in any second here. As Miracle's also in the mid lane. But invisibility out in about 10 seconds here. He's actually going to hide. I love this. Very smart play by Aki. His invisibility runs out, but he's still positioned right behind Dendi. And look at Dendi's vision. You can see that Earthshaker, so he's playing completely safe here. And this is exactly why he's sitting towards the bot lane. As Aki is going to throw Frost Nova. Going to trade a little bit of hits as we see more mana drain on Misery. There's the Frostbite, and that looks really bad for Misery. Tidehunter picks up the last hit. Still nothing for Havos to pick up, but the game is 3-3 now. And the Gold Graph had a Radiant team advantage of about 1k. So, pretty equal at the moment. Dendi level 5 now. He's going to do the Carrion Swarm on top of Face's Void. Currently 3 levels of Time Lock. And Lacoste at level 6. So, 3 levels of Spawn Spider Legs. I like how he picked up 1 in-cap bite. This early will allow him to chase a little bit more effectively. And thinking about going past, he's going to take a little bit of Frost Nova here, but only 1 or 2 throw attacks from the Lich isn't going to do a whole lot. So it will actually trade hits there. So last hits so far, the important here is to look at Anti-Mage versus the Faces Void. 22-9 on Anti-Mage. He's got 3 assists, 1 death. Pycat himself, 30-8. And if we look at their specifically gold per minute, 258 versus a 292. So pretty close there. Puppy's going to control the rune possibly. We'll see what it's going to be. It is going to be bottom again. Beastmaster does bottle that up. So either way, Navi had a guaranteed rune pick up there. Podcast's going to go scout out the top rune. It's not there. And might see Misery in some trouble. There's the blink for it. Great blocking from Havos, but it's going to run out. And here comes the Frostbite. 2 seconds of Frostbite. It does land on top of Misery. And, oh, Havos making a slight mistake there. Hesitating for just a second. And once again, Puppy gets another kill. So Puppy picking up the kills here. That's his second kill as a support Tidehunter. A third kill, 3-1-1. He's got like all the kills this game. And even Dendi shifting. I love this. Dendi coming top immediately upon hitting, about to hit level 6. It's going to be Pycat free farm mid, but they don't have push anyway, so it's totally okay to leave the lane there. And there we go. Dendi picking up level 6. They're going to push this lane out here and try to take their first tower, despite not having a whole lot of push. But Miracle is going to try to slow this down. Has 2 levels of Fissure. Looks like Windrunner is TPing back as well. And he's got 3 levels of Power Shots. As we see, the Power Shot Fissure does a lot of damage to Vos. Actually takes about 400 points of damage from that one. And Dendi's actually going to just leave. So he came top for a second. Was thinking about going in. Observer Ward spotted this out. And there is a TP Scroll as well as his bottle back up. And he's going to shift back mid. So with the Windrunner and the Earthshaker defending that, the Creep Wave gets cleared. And they say, okay, this isn't going to work. I need to leave. So he's going back towards the mid lane now. 3-4. Let's see, Lacoste last hits on the bot lane. He's up to 42-14 versus a Beastmaster 25-1. How are the stacks doing at least? Looks like we have a 4 stack right here on Ancients, which he will go for eventually. I don't know. There's the Sage's Mask. I don't know if this is going to be a Medallion or a Soul Ring. I feel like it has to be a Soul Ring, though. If you don't have a Soul Ring, I don't think Beastmaster can actually take this out. That's self-sustaining, so he's getting another stack ready with his boar. And Dendi's still in the mid lane. Tidehunter also in position level 4. Buying a lot of wards. Actually, they don't have any wards up right now. If we look at Navi's vision, they're very, very blind. Thinking about going for the ward there, but a little scared about it. And there we go. Arzart puts the ward down that will spot out the rune as Aki does go into position. Also ready to ward, perhaps. And it's going to be an Invis. Once again, steals the rune. Gets unlucky again for Navi. So CLG getting some very, very good rune control so far as we see another Fissure on Anti-Mage, another Power Shot as well. He's currently level 6, 900 gold, possibly go for Treads next, I expect. Good deny by Misery. And Misery going for that Blades of Attack as Navi is just waiting for something to happen. I guess they're going to wait for Dendi to maybe get dove on. Faces Void does have his Chronosphere. And wow, we're going to see a Hand of Midas on Pycat. He's going aggressive this game. Hand of Midas is actually a very good Faces Void item. It does delay his carry potential, of course, but the attack speed is great on Faces Void because it gives him more bashes. If your attack speed is high, you have more chances to proc Time Lock, and you can get lucky and get a lot of extra damage out of that. Not to mention the EXP advantage that he's going to gain from this. And all of his skills are actually pretty useful. Maxing out the backtrack, big long range on Time Lock would also be good. So we see a Shackle as we see CLG coming in. There's the nuke, there's the Fall of Fissure, but he will be able to blink out just as his treads come in. So he is going to regen back up there. Failed gank on the Anti-Mage. Not a whole lot of effort put into that one, though. They can still stay around here. Actually, Miracle's out of mana, which could be a problem. Puppey is going to find him, though. Runs into Lich as well as the Earthshaker. The Gush goes down as he walks away. Not interested in jumping in on that one. Anti-Mage's HP is definitely still too low. As we see a South, so now they might go aggressive. Dendy's still being very careful mid, level 7 currently, up against Pycat, who's EXP per minute. He's going to pick up his Ring of Health finally. I can't believe he was able to grab that without needing any regen. Very good play by him, especially with very little backtracks. Just one level of backtrack, went for fast Hand of Midas with that poor man's shield, and good support from the Lich got him there. So 343 gold per minute now. His EXP per minute is 370. This is actually going to be the important thing. He's going to be able to use that on regular creeps as well as neutrals and really accelerate his EXP as well as his gold farm by having that item. So it's going to be pretty scary around the 30-minute mark. We'll see if Anti-Mage is going to be able to out-carry him. But thus far, Anti-Mage hasn't had free farm. He's still got 4 assists, no kills yet, but he did have that 1 death. Bot lane Lacoste is still pressuring out a little bit. Treads with the Soul Ring, poor man's. And how are those stacks going? Looks like he has started a little bit, throwing some axes here as he runs into his base. Is he going to Soul Ring? That's the question. Soul Ring Bottle seems a little redundant, though. I feel like it's more likely to be a medallion, but he sells something. What you gonna buy? A second Sage's Mask. Very, very interesting. I think he's going for an Orchid, I guess. Unless he's gonna do like Soul Ring and a medallion, which I guess is a possibility. I really don't know, though. This is very confusing to me. He's gonna go pull once again, maybe. Or we're gonna see Earthshaker kill Dendi on the mid lane. Wow, that was a Chronosphere there. Sorry I missed that one, guys. Aki doing a Frost Nova with a Fissure on the mid lane. And Death Prophet gets picked off. Death Prophet very squishy early. Only Phase Boots wand is not a whole lot of survivability. Anti-Mage now kills Windward on the top. That's what I get for talking about stuff, as we see a Sentry Ward placed down to try to check for an Observer Ward, but there is none. It is actually over here. So missing 2 kills, 4 to 5. Goldgraph is in the Radiant team's advantage right now, especially because of this Hand of Midas increasing his farm. Navi hasn't really been able to profit from having the Death Prophet up quite yet, and he's now sitting in the base. Looks like he is going for a fast Vanguard, currently with a Stout Shield, and Light of Heaven still just double Sage's Mask. A little bit of counter ward going on. It's a Radiant Radiant Sentry, actually. Have they attempted to take that out? There was a ping. As they might just come in trying to grab Pycat. Pycat's HP not that high. Do we have a silence? There's the Gush, actually, but he is going to have a Time Walk. And there it is, the long range, 1100 range as Puppey comes through. No Ravage quite up yet for him, despite him having 3 kills. He's only level 5 right now. And they're finally going to see some exorcism coming out from Death Prophet. The Glyph immediately being used, and the rest of CLG is coming. It's going to be Windrunner as well as Lich going to try to slow this down a little bit, as the Ghost hitting pretty well. Light Heaven continuing to stack this up. I don't think we're going to see the spawn. There's so many. Oh my god, that's a huge stack. Just a giant stack as we're looking for a team fight. Misery takes a lot of damage, actually. Looking for the Frost Nova. Frost Nova might get the kill. It does pick off the kill. Great play by Arzart. Mid tower about to go down. It does get denied by Faces Void as the Chain Frost scares him back. And Denny gets picked off from Aki. Tough loss there for Navi as the Anchor Smash reduces Faces Void's damage. Looking for a bash on Puppey, but the Kraken Shell procs as the slow goes through. And there's the bash. Picks off Puppey. Double kill there for CLG on the mid lane. They lose the Windrunner, but they also denied the tower. A lot of pings now by the bot. What is this Black Dragon doing? Oh my gosh. Some of those Ancients very, very low here as we see more axes from Light of Heaven. Doing that composite damage. He is going to drop some of those Ancient Thunder Lizards. He's a little scared right now. He's going to throw another axes though. He's got that haste ring. He doesn't want to use it though. And see how much EXP. Oh my god, that was a lot of gold. Up to 1900 gold now. So if we compare his gold to minute, what is his gold per minute right now? 299. So despite being in a hard lane solo against a solo here, he ends up doing pretty well here on the bot lane as a result of axing all of those black or those Thunder Lizards and stuff. So those Thunder Lizards. Interesting that he went, of course, for the double Sage's Mask over the Soul Ring, but it worked out. So Bottle plus the double Sage's Mask apparently is enough to throw lots and lots of axes. Misery is still pushing for it as see a Vost Goes for the blink. Vanguard is up on him, so he's got some good survivability. As Broodmother kills Death Prophet, so Dendi dies again here on the bot lane. 0 and 3 now. Still no science, still no survivability. Just did not have a good time mid against that Faceless Void Lich combo. So that's the problem with Lich. He sacrifices so many of the creeps that it gets you behind in terms of EXP and farm. And Dendi is EXP per minute 311 despite being on the mid lane, so not as good as it could have been. Now, Puppy level 5, still not level 6, 13 minutes in here. Definitely needs to sap some EXP. Pick up that level 6. Hasn't been a whole lot of pulling, actually, from them on the top lane. Let's go see a courier pick up an energy booster. That will be an Arcane Boots for somebody. It's going to be a Miracle, so Miracle up with the Arcane Boots. We'll be able to spam that Fissure now. And Pycat's still pressuring forward. Treads plus the Perseverance plus the Hand of Midas with his excellent attack speed. Lots of bashing, even maxing out Time Walk. He just hasn't even maxed out Backtrack yet, but he does not care, so... Maxing out Time Walk early is really important, though. Sometimes it is definitely the best way to do it, especially when you have a safe lane. Gives you huge initiation range as Navi is trying to take off the top tower, and finally they're going to get a tower here. Nobody denied that one. Anti-Mage with the last hit, so Havos up to 1k gold now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Dendi finally making something out of his hero. Might take out some neutrals, actually. No, he's shifting towards the mid lane as we see Puppy defending this one. Still not level 6. One more creep, and he's finally going to have the Ravage. 900 gold as well, so probably saving for Arcane Boots. So for the meantime, we'll see Crystal Maiden most likely buying the wards. Exorcism running out, level 8 on Dendi. Going to take out some small camps. A very smart choice. He's going to grab these 3, wait till it respawns, and take them out once again. Good play there. No camps actually have a lot of EXP as Pycat is going to maybe try to take the Ancients. We'll see. Yeah, I think he's going to go for this. This is a very smart choice. If you can actually steal these away from Light of Heaven, that'll be great here. 200 gold, lots of EXP as well. And there's the Waveform away as Crystal Maiden shows up. So, reducing Light of Heaven's farm a little bit. And there he goes. He grabs the Medallion and an Urn instead is his choices. So, Medallion can be great towards taking Roshan, especially with Death Prophet up because it lowers your armor. And Death Prophet's ulti does physical damage, so that'll be very good. And Urn is also very good offensively. So, as well as healing your teammates up as Navi is coming for the ankle. Cost running right into him. And there's the AoE. Do we have a dust? No dust. Oh, there it is. There's the dust. That was a kill. 100% kill. If they had dust there, Broodmother was dead. So, slight mistake made by Navi. The dust is utilized, but it does not catch him. He's already long gone here, as they are now going to right-click on the tower, trying to save the Exorcism as we see. Creep wave get cleared. This is all of Navi. Faces Void takes out the mid tower, so they're totally counter-pushing here. We're going to also see Misery try to pressure the top tower. They might actually lose 3 towers for this one, or at least 2. They already lost a tier 1 bot, but I think Navi has to back off. We're going to see Anti-Mage go purchase a TP scroll. Where is he going to go with it? They might, I guess, are they going to continue their push? We're going to see Misery take out top tower, so 2 tier 1s now have fallen. I guess CLG is not going to go mid. They don't have the pushing power for that. And if Navi can take a tier 1 and a tier 2 in exchange for 2 tier 1s, it's totally worth it for them. And they have better map control anyway, so Puppy takes a little bit of nuke, has his Ravage up 1200 gold now, but the Exorcism Dune is doing the damage. Level 9 as we see the Vitality Booster finally up on Death Prophet. They really want to take the tower, but they're going to have to back up here as the TP support comes. Windrunner looking for a Windrunner. Great fissure on Light of Heaven, looking for the double Shackle. There's the Orchid. Shackle does not latch on Light of Heaven, but the Orchid doing the magic as we see the Chronosphere. Pycat finishes it up, looking for a Silence. Silence does land on Misery as the nuke comes through, faces Void, almost dying. Anti-Mage blinks past, going to try to pick him off, does get the kill. Great play from Navi. And even going to catch the Lich, so currently only down on a Beastmaster, trying to grab Miracle as well as Anti-Mage blinks forward, looking for the mana drain, and Miracle is going to run completely out of mana as we might see an ulti, picks out the kill, double hit, and grabs a double kill. Great ulti from Anti-Mage, doing damage to 2 heroes there. 300 damage to the Windrunner, completely made the difference as Lacoste might try to make up for this. Does the silence on Arzart, doesn't even have to pop his ulti or anything. A little bit of auto-attacking, slight mistake from Arzart there as Lacoste is able to take that kill, so... Great team fight from Navi. They absolutely needed to win that right there, and they totally got the kills. We're going to see the gold graph jump down a little bit, but most importantly, the EXP coming back towards 0, finally making up for their disadvantage in kills early on in the game here. So, great plays by Navi coming back from that one. Anti-Mage definitely paying off more than Faces Void at this point. The problem with Faces Void is that you really need like a Battle Fury up or something to do well in your Chronosphere. He's got good attack speed, and he definitely picked off the Rexar and contributed there, but after that point, Anti-Mage drained his mana and just chased after him and has a lot more reach than Faceless Void has. Faceless Void can like Time Walk in Chronosphere and maybe Time Walk one more time, but that's all he's got. Other than that, he's auto-attacking. Anti-Mage can drain mana, he can do tons of damage, and he's got that ulti as well. So a lot longer team fight that Anti-Mage can procure, or that can contribute with, but Faceless Void, obviously a little bit better team fight in very short periods of time. So, the initiation on Denny does get shackled just barely as Arzart tries to get out there. The Chain Frost catching hard. Wow, great Chain Frost from Aki. Picks off 2 kills mid, and a great gank from CLG with a triple smoke. Smoke on 3 as Pycat initiated. That shackle was so close to not latching though, and Arzart was running away, but it was just not far enough. Now they're going to try to take the tier 2 mid, so it is currently 11 to 10. A 4k advantage now for the Radiant team. It's going to bounce back up just a little bit, but EXP Graph has been neutralized, at least for a small period of time here. Vanguard is finished on Dendi, but obviously Shackle Shot making the difference there. A little bit of range damage coming through as Anti-Mage getting closer to his Manta style. It's up to 2,800 gold. Puppy does not have his ulti, but he does have a Ghost Scepter. Very interesting. So going for a very fast Ghost Scepter this game. The Radiant team is a lot of physical though. Broodmother faces Void, of course, and this is going to make sure that he doesn't feed. He doesn't have the Arcane Boots, but Ghost Scepter does give you 7 to all attributes, so this is like 91 mana. Not bad. 91 mana, no, more HP than that, of course, but a little bit over 100 HP, 91 mana, not bad. And they're actually going to go for the Roshan. I love this, actually. Yasha up on Anti-Mage. They're going to have a Medallion from Light of Heaven. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to go in. And there's the ulti from Death Prophet, but does CLG realize they don't have vision up, but there it is. They're going to spot Arzart as we see the Illusion Rune. Puppy's going to try to take that. Anti-Mage blinks forward, looking for the Roar. It does land on Miracle, as well as the Silence. There's the Waves, and he gets picked off. Earthshaker dropped. Great Silence, as well as Puppy has been orchided as well, looking for the Gush. So close to getting the Gush off. Look at the range. He just needs the Gush, and there's the block. There it is. Aki Gush now. He doesn't have the Chain Frost. It's the right clicks. Frost Nova being utilized, and Navi wins a great 2-hero pick off, and they may be able to back off and take the Roshan, or they might just try to take the tier 2. I'm not sure what they're going to go for. Yeah, Dendi's ulti is gone now. He's currently level 11. We'll be able to level that up, but they lost a decent amount of their damage by doing that chase, but I think they will be able to take it now. There's the ulti on Havost, actually. There's the Battle Fury as well. Here comes the TP support. It's going to be Death Prophet. Shackle doesn't land. He pops the wand, and he survives just barely. Great wand pop, making all the difference. CLG really needed that kill there, and they just simply did not get it. Maybe needed one more bash, one bash at the end, something would have been enough to pick off Havost, and he's going to end up surviving just barely. Vanguard really paying off. This is one of those cases where Anti-Mage absolutely needs a Vanguard. 100% needs a Vanguard. It is so important. If you don't have the Vanguard up on the Anti-Mage against Faceless Void, he's going to Chronosphere you, and he's going to kill you. You can't get away with having only 800 HP on a Void in this part of the game. So, alright, so Navi's going to back off just a little bit here. Anti-Mage in the jungle currently level 13 as Dendi is up to 11, so Gold Graph looking at a 5k advantage for the Radiant team. EXP Graph is still in the Radiant team's advantage, but not bad. Navi's currently in the kill lead, so they are definitely still sitting fine. Last hit so far, we see 150 up on Faceless Void. His GPM must be ridiculous as well. Anti-Mage at 109, and Dendi at 89, but has died 4 times. Puppy with pretty much nothing, but 20 last hits on Arzart as well, and the other farmer is cost at 173. Crazy amounts of last hits, and he's going for that Black King bar next. About 300 gold away from that. So CLG spending a lot of time pretty close to each other here. Earthshaker in position to defend if needed. As Pycat, Windrunner are pushing it mid, they have that Mechanism phase boot. So let's look at some GPM. Nope, we're going to see a small gank coming bottom. Navi's Arzart is coming through. He does have a Dust. Sentry Wards actually. Sentry Wards, there's a Fissure actually. Now Navi might want to back off. There's going to be a ping from the pink player. It's going to be Puppy. So Puppy coming through. He's got his Ravage up. I don't know if the Radiant team has spotted them quite yet. Let's look at their vision. They do see where Dendi is. I think they might have caught the supports coming past, but here comes the swing around. There's the cost. They don't quite realize that he's there yet. There's an Anchor Smash going down. Still no Sentry Wards, and the BKB is finished now. Broodmother is pretty much safe. Even if he gets dusted, now he can go Magic Immune, and he can TP out if he had a TP scroll. Or you can also remove the dust that way. And Havost on the top lane picks up his ultimate orb. 2 TP scrolls as we see Pycat. Pycat really wants a kill here. Windrunner also in position. He might spot it. It's going to actually blink on top, actually. There's the Chronosphere looking for a perfect shackle. This is terrible for Phobos. Runs right into it. There's the shackle. The right clicks. He's still disabled, and that is it. Anti-Mage gets picked off. Blinks right into his doom there. That was a bad situation for him. Very unlucky. But very patient gank as well from CLG. They're totally waiting for that one. They knew Anti-Mage was probably going to go to that camp anyway, so they just waited for him. There's the Chronosphere. Anti-Mage gets picked off. And that's the damage coming out. So Pycat with the treads. Hand of Midas. Battle Fury does enough damage. Pick off that Anti-Mage with the shackle on top of it. So great stuff. Beastmaster about halfway to his Aghanim Scepter. No new items for Tidehunter quite yet. Still sitting about 950 here as Arzard is doing a little bit of counter warding. It's about a 40% ward. Nice pick off. They still want to take out Roshan. There's a Spiderling there. So Broodmother will be aware of what's happening if they do go for it. Man, he is so farmed. What are the GPMs? They've got to be ridiculous here. Lacoste is at 466. Pycat at 573. Very, very high GPMs. So yeah, they're looking at about a 9k advantage now. Very, very high advantage for the Radiant team. Definitely out farming Navi right now. Not something that happens very often. And Navi going to spend a little time taking out some Ancients. And then you going for a mech next. Great choice here. He's got a decent mana pool. And once he does grab that mech, he will have that heal, of course. So Ancient Camps are being pulled just a little bit as Dendi is going to bottle up an invisibility. Definitely a nice pickup. I don't know if they have any dust or anything like that. Most likely not. Misery, nothing new. 1800 gold probably will force staff next as Anti-Mage is now 150 gold away from his Manta Style. Will be there soon. And Lacoste on the bot lane, level 15. Of course, going for some more Ancients. Still hasn't taken the tier 1 tower. That's something kind of interesting. So Lacoste playing a Broodmother on the soul bottom. He's actually lost a tower. He's lost his tower. Hasn't taken one yet. But he has so many last hits. Does it really matter? Not really. 200 last hits. His Face's Void is still farming great. And that's a tower he'll get eventually, but he's not trying to force the tower. If he does try to force the tower, he might put himself into a bad spot where he's too far forward and does get picked off. Now the Spiderling's trying to scout things out a little bit, and they will get cleaned up. Manta Style is going to be on the way, and there it is. So Manta Style for Anti-Mage, now they're going to be a little bit ready to team fight. It's going to be a Bracer, actually. Bracer wand for Tidehunter purchase. Did not buy a Arcane Boots, didn't go for a Blink Dagger, just wants HP. Might be a Drum of Endurance after this. Still hasn't really been able to utilize his Ghost Scepter, but either way, it's still a good item choice. And they're finally going to try to kill Lacoste here. They are going to have Dust, I think, but it's actually daytime, so he's going to have vision. He's going to see this coming and immediately backs off. So not really a whole lot Navi can do about that one. They didn't have the Dust, but the Axes come through. They're going to clear this out a little bit. He's so close to his Aghanim Scepter, about 150 gold away. As CLG is also pushing the top lane, so we'll see if Face's Void's going to be able to take on the top. He picks up a Manta Style next, so good attack speed, good movement speed as well. He can actually Manta Split under the Chronosphere, and those should be able to attack through it, so he can really increase his damage as well as the Confusion. So, especially if you have Manta Styles and a Chronosphere, you can try to disable him, but you don't know which one's the real one, and they're going to take off the tier 2, so Navi takes out the tier 2. Will they try to defend theirs? Nope, not going to happen. Face's Void getting the last hit, 2100 gold now, and I think Navi is going to try to take an Aegis. I think that's what we're going to see. Radiant team is going to spot this. There's their Observer wards. There's spiders up there. Killing them spiders. And now they are going to right-click the Aegis as CLG is on the way. We see a Dust as well, so they're not going to see it coming as Dendi pops his ulti up. There's the Armor Ore as well. This could go terrible. Where is the Face's Void? He's got his Chronosphere. He's thinking about it. There's the Courier coming in, drops the ward, and there it is. Tide pops the Chronosphere, catches the rest of CLG, so the chain initiation won't be amazing, but Pycat steals the Aegis as well as sniping Roshan. I can't believe it. Now he's right-clicking Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage blinks out the Frostbite. Now there's the Fissure. As Misery as well as Lacoste coming for kill. The Shackle shot lands on Light of Heaven as well as Arzard. Looks terrible for them as Dendi's ulti still doing some good damage here. Looking for the AoEs. There's the ulti from Phobos. Tries to kill. Windrunner blinks out just in time. Is now Puppy escaping. 3 seconds left on his Ghost Scepter, so he will be able to be a little survivable. I think he's be able to get out. There's Ghost Scepter. There's the Silence as well. Does the nuke at least, but he's going to be running away. Wand, 4-charge Wand, pops Anchor Smash, taking a little bit of tower damage. He's still running away, but Pycat gets the last hit. Dominating double kill. Great Aegis steal from Face's Void there. Totally taking Navi's possible advantage, but it looks like Navi lost 3. Reigning team losing 2. Vos now wants to kill Lacoste. Going to do a little bit of life. He's going to Manta Style out of the Silence here. As Lacoste is thinking about running away, they don't actually have a Dust right now, so definitely at a little bit of a disadvantage due to this. Lacoste juking out a little bit. Still hasn't used his BKB. I'm very surprised he didn't BKB at all that team fight. But I guess it doesn't matter. The BKB really only useful in this game against Frostbite and Anti-Mage Roar. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry, Beastmaster Roar. Beastmaster Roar, Crystal Maiden Frostbite, and Ravage. And the Ravage hit everybody, I'm pretty sure. It was a great initiation by Puppy to just try to disable them, but Chronosphere totally messed things up there and was able to seal the Roshan. Perfect timing from Pycat. So 15-14 right now, as we're going to see 212 last hits up on Pycat. 6-1 and 3, 0-6 and 8 on Misery. Misery not having a good game at all, but the rest of Navi is still doing okay. So positive on a decent amount of heroes. Anti-Mage is positive. Puppy is positive. Beastmaster's not doing terrible. The gold graph is still at a CLG advantage, 10k and climbing. So, and to make matters worse, they don't have the late game advantage of an Anti-Mage. They are going to have to play an Anti-Mage versus the Faceless Void, which is not going to go well. It's going to look scary. So there is the headdress recipe, still about 700 gold away before he grabs that mechanism up. As we see a little bit of pressure bottom, the tower gets glyphed up as Puppy is going to TP and pops the Anchor Smash. Axes as well, getting a ton of last hits there. Really inflating his score, I'm sure, as looks like Kavos is thinking about going in. He's actually going to chase after Pycat. Pycat with the Chronosphere has a Eagle Song. I heard an Echo Slam going down over here as BKB pop by Lacoste catches a couple of heroes. Denny's going to run away with the Ghost Scepter as Puppy is now being slowed. There's Ghost Scepter pop. Arzard coming back in as Faces Void pops the Mantis style Chronosphere on top of the Anti-Mage, and they're right-clicking him down. Pycat does get ethereal bladed, I think, or something. He stopped attacking for a while there, which is weird. As Miracle blinks and does a great fissure, and the right-click. Oh man, the Shackle as well. Dendy in a ton of trouble, and Pycat gonna right-click down. There's the Entanglement. Puppy will drop, and Navi losing 4 heroes for no kills. Arzart trying to escape here, but CLG playing so well, almost catching the Shackle and looking for another nuke, and the Spawn Spiderlings picks it up. 5 heroes going down for Navi, and this game does not look good for them. They are at such a disadvantage now as Miracle's going to TP to the top lane. Going to slow down this push just a little bit, grab a little bit of farm. While the tier 2 tower falls for Navi, so 2 towers going down. Gold graph getting worse, and Navi still losing this game. Still not looking strong enough. So definitely a weird team fight, though. I mean, Anti-Mage was chasing the Faceless Void, and the rest of the heroes initiated. Sounded like Earthshaker got a great blink off, because we did see Dendy as well as the other hero disabled right next to him. They lost a ton of HP from that, and the Rax Barracks goes down as we see a gush on Pycat. Puppy thinking about, no, his ulti is actually on cooldown. Thinking about going back in. There's the Manta style split. Gonna do a little bit of damage. More Anchor Smash to reduce their damage output. Doesn't do a whole lot now. Clears out those illusions just fine. Anti-Mage is thinking about going back in his Vitality Booster, giving him some much needed HP, but he's still behind on farm. So his farm totals, Pycat is currently at 19k, Anti-Mage at 11. And that right there makes such a big difference. As the Butterfly is finished on Faceless Void, so evasion for his illusions, evasion for himself, 35% chance of Anti-Mage missing him in a straight on one-on-one fight, and it's not even close at this point. Faceless Void is totally going to be able to out-carry this Anti-Mage with Chronospheres, with all of that good stuff. And I would like to see maybe Faceless Void go for tank next, something like a Heart perhaps, or a BKB would actually be very good as well. I would love a BKB on Faceless Void. Pop that BKB, initiate, and just kill people. Doesn't have to worry at all at this point, so Dendy's going to find an Illusion Rune at least. Still has not finished his mechanism, about 8 or 600 gold away from that one. And Windrunner with a Force Staff now. Ultimate Orb as well. So Ultimate Orb going for that Sheep Stick. Man, CLG's team setup is just really perfect towards countering an Anti-Mage late game. It really works out excellent. They've got Chain Stuns from the Earthshaker. They have a Broodmother who's going to have an Orchid. They have Windrunner Shackles. And they have a Faceless Void. And even on top of that, they have a Lich Froststormer. Like, literally every hero on CLG's lineup is great against Anti-Mage in some factor. Very, very effective hero picks that are really putting Navi in a bad spot. And there's a little bit of disable on Puppy, actually. He's going to Ghost Scepter this one. Be able to run away from that one. As you see axes from Light of Heaven, and Gush goes down on Pycat. They might roar this, but he does have the Aegis up. As Vosh shows up, TP's back in, and all of Navi is here to defend this. Dendy also here, so still not quite at his mechanism just yet. Really need to win some team fights here to come back from this. So we see another Gush on top of Faces Void, trying to lower his HP down just a little bit. Pycat right-clicking the tower now. He doesn't care anymore. He's going to eat an Anchor Smash, and there's the Ghost Scepter on Puppy. As he does get Salad, he was about to ravage this one. Shackle is going to land. Puppy might end up dying, but oh my gosh, the Chronosphere stopping time. No ulti from him. Venomancer, as well as the Anti-Mage, actually right-clicking very well. Chain Frost doing some good damage. picks off the Earthshaker, and we actually have 2 heroes down on Navi as Pycat is right-clicking the melee barracks, and Denny's trying to do as much damage as possible, but the evasion is so huge, just completely protecting Pycat from the damage. And he's just going to walk away. Shackle gets thrown out again. And we do see Faceless Void get out 400 HP here. And Navi just simply not able to defend that. The Exorcism just completely reducing damage due to that Butterfly there. Great item choices from Pycat. Now he's going on the Ancients as well. Using that Time Walk up to 3k gold now. CLG in such a commanding position in this game. 22 to 16. 20k advantage now. Hand of Might is still being utilized as he's now up to level 21. A level 21 hero. Antimate's in at 17, but man,
My gratitude.
CLG's play so far has been absolutely perfect. Lich with the Ghost Scepter up. Still pushing mid. Oh my gosh, Antimate's on the mid lane. There's the silence, but he gets picked off. The Blink Orchid being used. He got silenced, put the Mantle Split out, but he got bashed immediately from Faceless Void. And CLG now pushing up the mid lane looking for the tier 2 tower as Navi is going to have to back up. This is not looking good for them. And there's the chain bashing going down. Denny, there's the Ravage as well, disabling a couple of heroes as Hobos comes back in looking for the Sables. He does get Orchided, taking the physical damage, and the keeps getting bashed here as he blinks out as well. As we see the Roar on Lacoste, another carry-on swarm as Anti-Mage comes back in, draining a little bit of mana. The bash just come through, and he gets picked off again. The Brood Mother Faceless Void making the difference here, and Navi calls good game. They just lost 2 games in a row today. Once against Mouse, once against CLG. Puppy is going to drop. Faceless Void's going to come and take out Arzard. He actually caught Dendy in that. I can't believe it. Catching Dendy there, looking for the disable on him. Another Time Walk in 6 seconds. Still hasn't burned the Aegis. And PGG is called by Arzard. I don't know what that's about. A couple more attacks. BKB up on Lacoste, I guess. Whatever. I don't know what this is about. There's the right clicks. Dendy is going to drop, and that is going to be a 5 heroes go down. CLG's team setup was just absolutely perfect towards fighting a anti-mage in the late game, and they did a great job in shutting him down in the mid. Faceless Void, really very strong hero against anti-mage if you can keep your farm rate above his, and they totally did that. So here comes the disconnects, and that's going to be it. Navi gets shut down. Losing another game. We see a couple disconnects, not everybody quite out yet. Denny calling a GG again as he backs out. And Crystal Maiden, the last one over as CLG is going to take the win. So that's Star Series, guys. Star Series for the day. I think we have another game coming up after this one, I believe. Let me check who it is going to be. I think I may be casting this one with, I'm not sure if it's going to be Shiva or Wagamama, but we'll find out. The Faceless Void gets the last hit on the tower. The last cast is going to be... where did I write this? M5 versus Kita is the upcoming game, so if you guys want to tune into that, please stay tuned. But great game, well played by CLG. Excellent drafting, great execution as well. Even a Divine Rapier, totally great item. And the disconnect comes, so here comes the final score screen, guys. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Purge. Go check out ghostgamers.net for all of your esports coverage. Go check out my website, purgegamers.com, if you want to find my Facebook, my Twitter, all of my YouTube VODs that I post, or links to my YouTube channel. Go check that out. And there it is. So gold per minute up on the Faceless Void. We're at 737. Excellent farm by Pycat, one of the best farmers in the game of Dota 2. 9-1 and 11. He played excellently, and Navi just couldn't stand up to it. Their lanes were okay, but they just started losing in the mid game. They had a little bit of rough start early. Anti-Mage ended up dying. That was very, very weird, but that's it. Navi takes the loss. I'll be back in just a second, guys. Stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in.